Hello Internet, this is Joseph Braun. I'm a kids photographer here in Santa Barbara, California, and today I'm going to show you one of my favorite techniques, which is HDR, high dynamic resolution, using Lightroom and a program called Photomatix. So here we are in Lightroom, and I have 3 images here that I did not use a tripod with. I just shot these today on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, everybody. And these images are shot one stop apart. And I just used the motor drive and I fired them one stop apart. Here they are in Lightroom. So what I'm going to do is select all of these, go to Export, Export to Photomatix Pro. Right here you have a dialog that comes up that will say Align Images. Now, since I did not shoot it on a tripod, definitely want to click that. If you shot on a tripod, it's up to you whether or not you want to do that. You want to generate an HDR for this tutorial. You can also do fuse exposures, which is another technique you can use that I'm not going to get into right now. If you've got wind or something blowing trees while you're in between exposures and there's some movement, you might want to click this one as well. Also, the reduced noise one is helpful because if you shot it at a high ISO, sometimes the increased contrast from tone mapping an HDR image can increase the noise even more. So I occasionally will use this as well. But for this tutorial, I'm fine with that. And then you simply click Export. I have already done that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go over to Photomatix to save time. And here we are. I've generated an HDR image through tone mapping, and here we are with the image. So as you can see, there's a pretty big difference between what we had here and what I got in Photomatix. What this has done essentially is compressed the information from the 3 different exposures back down to an LDR, a low dynamic resolution image that basically has the best of both worlds. It's got, detail, more detail in the shadows and the highlights. When you're shooting into the sun, it's almost impossible to get detail everywhere. So this is a really good time to use HDR. I've already messed with these levels to make it the way I want, but you've got strength here. What strength does is it actually controls how much HDR you want to do. So if you had it on 0, you're not really having that much. If you have it over all the way to 100, as you can see, there's a huge difference there. You can see a lot more detail and contrast in the clouds. You have color, saturation, luminosity. I highly recommend just playing with these because quite honestly, I haven't figured out exactly how they all work, but it's really intuitive. You just go through and you play with them. One of the first things I do after deciding the strength is I come down to this gamma slider. This is dramatic. If you start messing with this slider, as you can see, you can really change the look. So, just look at that. That's pretty crazy. So this will really largely determine the feel of the HDR image, of the tone mapping that you're doing by playing with the gamma. And once you have it the way you want, let's just say that's it. That's how we want it. We're happy with that. You click the process button, and it will process a 16-bit TIFF file that you can open up in Photoshop and continue to work on, or just use as is. Again, we are taking information from 3 different raw captures and putting them into one file. That is what HDR tone mapping does. And there you have it. I really like how that came out. So we have the image here. We've processed it. Simply go up here, save as, 16-bit TIFF file. I'm going to save it to my desktop. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and if you like my tutorials, please subscribe to my channel. I'm putting out new videos very regularly. So, can't talk. Thanks and Merry Christmas.